If you are watching this video right now, there is a very high chance you are doing so in complete physical privacy. You might be in your bedroom with a locked door, sitting on a bus with noise-canceling headphones, or scrolling on a phone guarded by password protection. We treat privacy like a basic human right, an essential biological shield. We need to protect our thoughts, our relationships, and our sanity. But on the timeline of human history, the concept of a private life is a shockingly new invention. For 99% of our species' existence, humans lived in small, tightly knit tribes where physical solitude simply did not exist. There were no walls, no doors, no curtains, and no locks. So did ancient humans have a private life? And how did a species designed for constant, public exposure survive without ever being alone? To understand this, we first have to look at the daily reality of a prehistoric campsite. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived in nomadic bands of about 30 to 150 people. In these small groups, your life was an open book. You woke up next to your family, scavenged for food alongside your neighbors, shared your meals around a central campfire, and slept huddled together for warmth inside a single cave or bone shelter. There was no such thing as a private conversation, a quiet room, or personal space. Every detail of your life, from what you ate to whom you argued with, was public knowledge. But this wasn't just a lack of technology, it was a survival necessity. In the ancient world, isolation was lethal. If you were separated from your tribe, you couldn't hunt, you couldn't defend yourself from big cats, and you would easily freeze in the night. Because of this, the urge to be completely alone was not a luxury. It was a terrifying warning sign. True solitude in prehistory was only experienced as a punishment. Banishment. To be cast out of the tribe and left alone in the wild was a slow-motion death sentence. Your brain evolved to crave constant social closeness because closeness kept you alive. But living with 100 people in constant, unbroken physical proximity creates massive psychological friction. If you can never walk away, how do you prevent the tribe from driving each other crazy? The answer is that since ancient humans could not build physical walls, they built highly advanced psychological walls. Anthropologists studying surviving hunter-gatherer societies, like the Hadza of East Africa, discovered a brilliant biological workaround called civil inattention. In a small camp, if an individual needs alone time, they simply turn their back to the group, look down at the dirt, or drape a simple animal hide over their head. The rules of the tribe dictate that the moment you do this, you are legally invisible. Other members of the tribe will walk right past you, ignore your presence, and treat you as if you are in another dimension. It is a highly respected social contract. They created privacy not with wooden doors, but with a shared agreement of respect. They also manage social friction through strict taboos, behavioral rules, and gossip. Because everyone could see everything, ancient societies used powerful social pressure to regulate behavior. If you were greedy, lazy, or aggressive, the entire tribe would discuss it around the fire while you slept. This constant public feedback loop kept human egos in check. You didn't need police or courts because the judgment of your peers was immediate, unescapable, and highly effective. The literal invention of the private life only happened when we stopped moving and began farming. When humans transitioned to agriculture around 10,000 years ago, they built permanent stone and mud brick houses. For the first time, families had walls that physically separated them from their neighbors. As societies grew wealthier, those walls moved inside the house, creating separate rooms, individual bedrooms, and eventually doors with locks. The concept of the self shifted from we to I. We traded the constant support and exposure of the communal fire for the quiet, insulated safety of our private chambers. We have built the most private world in human history. We can lock our doors, block out our neighbors, and live in complete physical isolation. But we have also paid an enormous evolutionary price for this luxury, a global epidemic of loneliness. Our ancient tribal brains are still expecting the warmth, the noise, and the constant presence of the camp. The next time you find yourself craving complete isolation, remember that while physical privacy is a modern convenience, too much of it can feel like a prehistoric punishment. We don't need to tear down our walls and move back into caves, but we do need to remember that our minds were never designed to navigate the dark completely alone.